What is up, YouTube? MK40 here. You've seen the second and the first place deck profiles coming out of my locals this weekend, and I wanted to showcase a special treat. So this was our third place Vendread deck profile, and I love Vendread as a concept. Actually, I love zombies as a concept, and our local resident Skylar Gates has been playing this deck for a long time. We took a break from it while waiting for the new support. Played True Draco for a little bit. Now that True Draco's gone, he gets the chance to mess around with his deck again. Now this might not be up to par or up to standards by many of your particular standards, but this is 45 cards. He did want to test around with 60, but unfortunately that grass looks greener is dead, so there's not really much we can do about that. But for the most part, this deck still pretty much is acting on the same axis that it has been, and it still seems to get away at 45 cards. And with the new addition from Flames of Destruction, we got Vampire Sucker, and this thing is a generic 2 zombies across the board. If you attribute summon a monster for a tribute summon, I wish it was for a ritual summon as well, but you can tribute monsters your opponent controls, and then you get some interesting effects. So you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon to your opponent's field in defense mode, but it comes a zombie. If a zombie monster is special summoned from either graveyard, you get to draw a card. Either way, this is a feel free to dump off a Mizuki or something like that, make Vampire Sucker, revive something, or move on along with your day. I mean, literally just combos off things and allows you to climb up the link ladder. A very interesting card design too for the zombie archetype, but all little progresses. Vendread, you guys should know what these guys do. The first one we ever got was Slayer. This thing has, if it battles an opponent's monster during damage circulation, you banish one zombie monster. This guy gets 300 attack, so he's 27. And if this ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one ritual spell from your deck to your hand. And if you do, you can send a Vendread from your deck to the graveyard. I'm not particularly cool with that style of effect. I mean, it's cool. It lets you search for whichever one you need, Evolution or Origin. But for the most part, it's not that great. Some of their newest additions, Battle Lord here. Each ritual summon this thing with anything. Banish one Vendread card from your graveyard, declare a card type, monster, spell, trap card. For the rest of this turn, your opponent can activate cards or effects of that type. So once again, I wish that this card would have been one of those fundamental cards where you negate something through the opponent's turn, like Shockmaster, but they couldn't include that. And if this ritual summon card goes to the graveyard, you can add one ritual monster. So this guy does float, and it allows you to further dump off Vendreads. And their big guy, Vendread Executor. You can ritual summon this thing with anything. This card name becomes Vendread Slayer while on the field. And while this card is ritual summoned on the field, your opponent cannot target cards you control with card effects except for him, of course. And if this ritual summon card is destroyed by battle or destroyed by an opponent's card effect while in its owner's monster zone, you get to add any Vendread card. I feel like this isn't super cost effective for what this card does, considering how big you have to ritual summon it. But I mean, things with they're not playing Vendread Knights anymore. Not really much of a point to it, but there's that. So anyway, we're going to dig into the deck profile here. Triple Ghost Ogre. I don't think Skylar has Ash Blossoms, so in terms of a budget player perspective, this isn't bad at all. One Goblin Zombie to be able to add from the deck to the hand, the appropriate combo piece. One Goizuki, your standard zombie manipulation. Triple Mizuki. Triple Solitaire, one Spectral Sword. I've seen him do a lot of cool, crazy things with Spectral Sword. So basically, if this card is sent to the graveyard, except the turn it was sent to the graveyard, you can target one non-tuner zombie monster in your graveyard, banish both it and this card, and special summon one zombie synchro monster. You know what that means? You get to shit out any one of these fun cards. Because remember, it has to be a zombie synchro type monster. Zombie, zombie, and zombie. And then one Spirit Master, of course. 2 Unizombie, 1 Anima, 1 Core, 2 Horde Hound, one Revenants, and triple of the Birds. And then the rituals, 1 Executor, triple Slayer, 1 Battlelord. Spells, 1 Burial, 2 Called by the Grave, triple Pre-Prep, 2 Prep, 2 Revendread Evolution, triple Origin, triple Vendread Carnage, and 1 Shirnui Wall Style, and 1 Revolution. And then the extra deck, 2 Vampire Sucker, 1 Chimera, 1 Decode, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 number 41, 1 Soon Saga, 1 Shogun Saga, 1 Summer Saga, 2 Omega, 1 Herald, 1 Crystal Wing, 1 Black Rose, and 1 Beals. And then the side deck, 1 Chimera, 2 Cosmic, 2 Forbidden Chalice, 1 Terraforming, 1 Zombie World, 2 Anti-Spell, 2 Dimensional Barrier, 2 Red Reboot, and 2 Typhoons. First off, I do have to say, in terms of like what these things can dump off, you had some interesting choices here. Anima, banish this card from your graveyard and target one of your banished Vendread monsters, except for Anima. Special summon it. Also, you can ask for some monsters for the rest of this turn. It's not bad. Basically, these all grant some sort of effect to the Vendread. So, basically, you banish any monster that it destroys by battle. This one grants to it your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. And if this card is in your graveyard, banish one other zombie monster from your graveyard. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Not too bad. Horde Hound gives it a quick effect and target 1 banished spell and trap card on the field. Banish it. This card's in your graveyard and discard 1 Vendread. Special summon this card, but banish it. That'll pretty much have that clause. Same thing here. Send to the graveyard, banish it. Once per turn, quick effect, target 1 special summon monster opponent controls, banish it. And then Strage is over here. After edge calculation, a card battle the opponent's monster. You get to draw a card, and then you have to discard a card. I don't know why they didn't grant it some sort of effect. Once again, this also has a revival clause. I kind of tried to make this deck very large, I feel like. Your ritual spells, Vendread Evolution was one of the cool ones. This lets you tribute monsters from your hand or field and or send 1 Vendread monster from your deck to the graveyard whose total level equal the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. So that's pretty cool. And then the ritual summon monster is destroyed during the end phase of the next turn. I don't know why they had to put that clause. It just seems kind of pointless. Origin's very basic in it. And then charge is something new. Send 1 zombie monster from your hand or face up on the graveyard. So summon 1 Vendread monster from your deck. Being able to send 1 from your field, pretty good. You know, you have things like this to kind of toggle out. And Vendread Revolution, discard 1 card, target 1 Vendread ritual monster, 1 ritual spell in your graveyard. So summon the monster in defense mode. If you do, add that ritual spell to your hand. Banish this card from your graveyard and target 5 of your banished zombie monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw 1 card. I don't particularly like trap cards, I'll be honest with you. Not going to be one of the first ones to say that. They're too slow sometimes. But this isn't too bad. Just for this particular deck, especially in a much slower localized meta. This isn't a terrible choice to be making up for those particular card choices, so something to consider here. Outside of that, Spectral Sword was the last thing. I'm not exactly sure what these guys do, so I believe you can make this guy. So it's 1 zombie tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner zombie monsters. Once per turn during either player's turn, target 1 of your banished zombie monsters, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, change to defense position all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to that monster's. Ooh, this is interesting. If this card is banished, you can target 1 face of monster your opponent controls, it loses 500 attack. I mean, it's 2,500. It's not bad. Shogun Saga, I think, is one of our more vanilla ones. Zombie tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner zombie. Discard special summon, you banish 1 zombie monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to that monster's attack. This card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect. You can target 1 of your banished zombie monsters with 0 defense, return it to the graveyard. I don't really like this. And then I think this was the good one. This is 1 zombie tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner zombies. This card is special summon. You can return any number of zombie type synchro monsters that are banished or in the graveyard to the extra deck, and then you can destroy cards opponent controls equal to the number of cards returned. Seems bad. If a zombie monsters would be destroyed by battle card effect, and banish 1 sheer enemy monster from your graveyard instead. Alright, I like this. Having a protection clause on your zombies, literally just for tributing off your solitaire for 1 free blanket and negation, that's not too damn bad. I really like that. I guess being able to make it off a Spectral Sword seems pretty good as well. Honestly, outside of that, Vendreads are a very basic strategy in terms of like what they have. Honestly, you produce very large ritual monsters, you produce your combos, you move on along with your day in terms of the things you do, and unfortunately we're going to have to wait for the OCG to get a lot more support for these guys. I mean, we will eventually. You know how great Subterrors were made and how great Spirals were made at the end of, you know, their long journey, but contrary to popular belief, this deck does have a lot going for them. They just need some sort of like Vendread spell card that literally acts like these. Give this deck, you know, a lot more searchers, and I think we'll be able to get somewhere, or a Vendread card that does more, because these guys don't float enough for what they do and the commitment for them. You figured for Konami designing a ritual-based archetype, we'd be a lot better off than, you know, we are in the year 2018, but it's just that. So congrats, Skylar. It's always fun to see you at locals, man, and I'm very glad to be profiling this. Like I said, this is just something fun that came across my table or my desk, and I figured I'd profile it. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Once again, congrats, Skylar. And that's all I have for you guys today. We're only doing local deck profiles because it's the beginning of the new format, so don't get too used to these. If something interesting happens, I'll try to profile it, but outside of that, it's just a one-time occurrence. Peace, guys. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel, and join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.